Acclaimed novelist, detective extraordinaire?
No, but I would like to be. That's why I love detective games so much. I missed out on my true calling and now I live that fantasy through gaming. If you're watching this video, I have a feeling you feel the same way. So let's take a look at my favorite top 8 detective games to put our mind palaces to work. First up, as number 8, we have Her Story, a game where you sit behind a computer while sitting behind a computer. Your assignment is to figure out what happened, why, and how. You do this by going through a large amount of video footage of police interviews. The game itself doesn't give you much direction. It only tells you to use keywords to search for new footage in the database. By using those specific keywords, you are able to uncover more and more of her intriguing story. If you're a fan of police interrogations and are not too keen on the action part of a detective's life, then this game should be a match for you. Next up at number 7 is The Case of the Golden Idol, a very classic point-and-click game where each new chapter has a mystery to solve. But by solving these cases, you will understand that each one is connected and a larger story will come together. The game has a unique art style where cozy meets creepy that works perfectly for the larger plot at hand. The gameplay in itself is simple, but that doesn't mean it won't make your head hurt from too much thinking. It can be quite difficult at times as the game heavily relies on your logical thinking and deduction skills. This game is perfect when you are looking for some hardcore thinking in short sessions. At number 6, we have Unheard. This game has a very fresh take on the detective genre. You are tasked to solve crimes by only hearing what is happening at the crime scene and by watching the characters move on the presented floor plan. That's it. That's all you have. You can rewind, pause, and fast forward through the case to learn more about your suspects and victims, which is great because you will miss a lot of the details while listening in for the first time. This game is great for people who like to hear all the drama with all the juicy details while not being a part of it. Coming in at number 5 is Loco Motive. Did you enjoy the murder on the Orient Express? Then you will definitely enjoy this one too.
The name's Arthur Ackerman. Pleased to meet you.
Hello. Stop butting in, Hagen. He was talking to me.
An old wealthy lady has been killed on a train and we need to figure out who done it. The game has a very nostalgic feel to it, with its setting, characters, humor and music. Loco Motive is divided into 3 parts, which means you get to play as 3 different characters that each have their own personalities and stories to tell. The over-the-top characters on this train really get to shine through the witty writing that leans into the absurdity, making it so much more fun to play. The number 4 spot goes to The Wolf Among Us, one of the more popular Telltale games where your decisions can alter how the story turns out. In this game you play as Bigby, the big bad wolf, in charge of protecting the people of Fabletown as the sheriff. When a Fable is murdered in cold blood, you need to find out who was the culprit and what was their motive. You do this by gathering evidence and statements from various locations and characters who come straight out of fairy tales. In this dark and gritty, graphic adventure game, you will meet Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, the Woodsman, trolls, and many more. But you have to keep in mind that your choices will shape how other fables see you. Are you going to be the merciless wolf? Or a fair and compassionate sheriff? It's a world where happily ever after doesn't exist and moral dilemmas are plentiful. In third place we have Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishment. You are in 19th century London, and you are the great Sherlock Holmes, solving crimes left and right with your dear Watson by your side. What I love most about this game is that it's divided into different cases that you can fully immerse yourself in. That way the game doesn't seem overwhelming and you can truly take your time with each investigation. You find clues, interview suspects, make incredible deductions, and use your mind palace to solve even the greatest of mysteries. The cases differ largely from one another, and thanks to that, it never gets boring.
Be patient, Watson, I haven't finished yet.
The game does hold your hand throughout, and you even have the option to skip the puzzles if it gets too difficult. Even though I personally like when a game leaves you on your own, the gameplay of Sherlock Holmes with its slower pace and helpfulness has a stress-free and calm feel to it that makes me appreciate the game even more. At number 2, we have Return of the Obra Dinn. This one is interesting. It's such a unique game that I can confidently say I have never played anything like it before. And I do have to be honest, it took me years to play this. The reason being the art style. Whenever I saw a recommendation for it, the style seemed to throw me off because it made me anxious. But when I finally took the leap, I was angry at myself for waiting this long. I promise you get used to the art style very quickly, and you even have a few options to change it. The immersiveness is amazing. The feel of it all and uncovering the mystery piece by piece is incredibly satisfying. The challenge here is figuring out who did what and why, based on only tiny details and the limited information available. You are alone on a ship with nothing more than a journal and a compass that shows you snippets of memories. Through deduction, you will fill the journal with names and facts, and in this one, there is no help available. I truly recommend jumping into this game completely blind to experience the full effect. If you have played this game before, please let me know in the comments how you felt about this one. But remember, no spoilers. And finally, taking the number 1 spot is a true classic, L.A.Noire. If you have looked up detective games before, you probably have come across this one already. It is just that good. You step into the shoes of Detective Cole Phelps, a rising star in LAPD, who is tackling a series of disturbing cases, ranging from traffic accidents to brutal murders. The game offers a perfect mix of thrilling cases, unforgettable characters, and stunning facial animation technology that allows you to read the suspect's emotions and figure out if they are being truthful in their statements. That technology is why this game has gained so much popularity. I mean, look at this guy and tell me, isn't he just the most sincere suspect ever? The narrative of the game is full of twists and turns, and just when you think you've got everything figured out, a new layer is uncovered that makes you rethink your whole investigation. My favorite part about this game is how Cole is being transferred to different departments, and through that is introduced to different partners who might be nice, or not so nice, or downright annoying. It's a roller coaster of relationships and crime solving, and it's what makes this game a must-play. In the end, L.A.Noire is a game that'll make you want to take up detective work, or at least make you really good at reading people at parties. That's it for my top 8 detective games. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you next week, and until then, happy investigating.